everyone, my name is Abby and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the beautiful city of New York and my trip there. Just a bit caveat on this video, this trip was filmed in August 2024, I'm a bit late uploading it. I'm super excited to share it because this is one of my favourite cities in the world. Okay, so we were super lucky on this trip that it was myself and my sister and we got to fly business class with British Airways both ways, and it was the new business class suites on the 777 and it was absolutely beautiful. Love the new seat. Obviously any business class is great because you get a lie flat and everything like that, but having the new suite was a massive upgrade from the old business class. I've flown the old business class a handful of times. The new suite is absolutely incredible. That being said, I will happily sit in the back of the plane just to get where I'm going. As you guys know, I love travel so much, and yeah, it was amazing to be sat in that new seat. Also, this video was going to be done as a vlog style, but we had so much fun I just didn't vlog, so I just took a load of different clips, so I'm kind of putting it into this little bit of a guide. As you can see, the new business class suite is absolutely stunning. The menu was amazing, the food was amazing, the drinks were amazing, the staff were incredible. I get loads of questions on flying as a wheelchair user, and as I say to everyone, flying as a wheelchair user can be pretty difficult, but also I have had some great experiences with it, like on British Airways where they always have an armchair in the experience I've had. The cabin crew are more than happy to help you out, so I find them really amazing. This was a great fly and I just used the armchair to go to the toilet, and I just try and just do everything off my seat. The crew were more than happy to get you anything you will need. So we got to JFK, obviously there was assistance at Heathrow and JFK. There'll be a video linked up here about flying with a wheelchair to make that easier for you guys. Arriving at JFK, we actually were going to Toronto the next morning, so we stayed in the TWA hotel. Getting to the TWA hotel was super easy. You literally, I don't know what terminal we came into, I'm going to put all this on the screen. So the terminal, we had to get the air train to another terminal where we then went and walked like literally 2 minutes to the TWA hotel. Staying at this hotel is one of the things I've wanted to do for so long. It's either the only hotel in the world, it's one of the only hotels in the world that has a pool that overlooks the runway. The bed was super comfy, the accessible room was brilliant. Would highly recommend staying at it just for one night. If you've got a layover between flights or you get into New York late and don't want to go into the city straight away, would highly recommend it. It was really cool. They have a 24-hour canteen, so you can get food whatever time of the day. Swimming pool on the roof, that's not open all day, so you need to check the hours of that. We went there, it was pretty cold in the morning. We went there at 7 AM when it opened, no one else about, so that was really cool to do. Accessible, there's no lift into the pool, but if you're like me and you can lower yourself into a pool, you'll be absolutely fine. So we then came back from Toronto 2 days later. That was an absolute travel nightmare. I'm going to make a video on Toronto, so subscribe down below if you want to see that one. The next day we landed into Newark and we got a taxi from Newark to downtown Manhattan in the Financial District where we were staying. The taxi process was super easy. They do have accessible taxis and normal taxis. We got a normal one because my wheelchair folds up nice and small. It's a set fare from any New York airport into the city. Depending on the time of day, I think the set fares are slightly different, but this is how much we paid. We could have got the train. There are options to get the train and buses, I think, as well, but just at the time of night we arrived, which is about 10 o'clock at night, we decided to just get a taxi. Camera battery died, so I've had to change over to my phone, so this is a good comparison actually to see how they both work. So yeah, we stayed at the Cloud One Hotel in the Financial District. We absolutely loved that hotel. It was amazing. Rooms were pretty small, but for New York, that's kind of what you would expect. It was accessible, it was clean, it was great. The staff were really amazing. It had a lovely bar and it also had a rooftop. So I would highly recommend staying there. If you had a power chair, you'd probably struggle to fit in there, but with a manual chair, you'll be absolutely fine. So yeah, I'm gonna go day by day. So day one, we got up nice and early and we headed to Liberty Bagels because we really wanted to try some of the local bagels and look at the cool bagels we tried. So we highly recommend that place. And then we headed to Summit 1 at the Vanderbilt building. To get there, I had my Tririding, which is the attachment that goes on my wheelchair, which everyone always asks me, can they rent? Unfortunately not. It is a thing you have to purchase and I take it with me everywhere. It is the best purchase I've ever made. We'll link a video up here about it if you're interested. Have that, and my sister got on a city bike, which you can rent really easily through the app on your phone. You can rent electric and non-electric bikes, and we rode up the West Side Highway all the way up the side of New York, and then we would park the bikes and actually walk into the city. Roll, I still say walk all the time, I don't know why, and it worked out really well for us. We absolutely loved it. So using the West Side Highway was kind of our gateway all the way up Manhattan, so that was really perfect for us. So we went to Summit 1 at the Vanderbilt building. It was really good. Bit of a thing, if you book your tickets beforehand, we use Get Your Guide. Make sure you turn up at your allotted time. We accidentally booked the time at 9 AM when we really wanted to go at 1 PM and we didn't realise until we got there. Then we had to pay a $10 each change fee to change the tickets to 1 PM. Anyway, the building was really super cool. We absolutely loved it. It was perfect. You got to see a really cool area of this aerial view of the city. You're above Chrysler Building, you're above the Empire State. You get to see all the areas around as well, all the way into New Jersey and Brooklyn. And up to Queens and everything like that. So it was definitely worth the price to go up there. It was a little bit expensive, but we were deciding between doing that and the Edge, and we decided to do that one just because you got the art exhibit as well, of like the balloon room and some of the cool features they have, like the mirrored floor and everything. So that was super good. It was all wheelchair friendly, super quick lifts. Didn't have to wait in long queues. They had wheelchair accessible height to do the photo things. So after that, you can come straight out of One Vanderbilt and go into Grand Central Station. So we did that, just had a little wander about, which was amazing. Again, super accessible. New York I found really accessible in general for most things. And the attitude of the people in the city very much was, how can we get you in here? Not, you can't come in. Then after that, we did one of my favourite things of the whole week, which was we actually went over to Central Park. We walked all the way up Fifth Avenue to Central Park. My sister again got a city bike and I had my Tri-Ride, and we did the whole bike path around Central Park. Relatively hilly actually, so yeah, definitely keep that in mind. We saw the boating lake and we'd kind of always heard about it, and we thought, you know what, when in New York you got to do these things. So we decided to rent a boat. I think it was like $24, and we rented a boat and went round the lake. So I just transferred straight from my chair into the boat. If you have good core strength, you'll be able to do it. Fortunately, I don't have any wheelchair accessible boats. And then we went to Italy in the evening, which is a bit of a disappointment. Wouldn't recommend based on our experience. The shop's really cool, but the restaurant wasn't great. Next morning we woke up and we went and did something that we've both been really wanting to do for a long time, and that is go to the 9/11 memorial. The last time we were in New York was 10 years ago and it wasn't fully built. We went into the museum, we went at 9 AM first thing. We thought we'd be there an hour or two. We were there 3.5 hours. So if you're going to go to the 9/11, make sure you book out your whole morning or whole afternoon to go do it, and book in advance because the queue's really a lot shorter. If you have to buy tickets there, it's a really long queue. The pools of 9/11 outside our hotel room, but we actually got to go underground them, and there's a whole museum, and it's the most humbling and most beautiful way they could have ever paid tribute to all those people that died. What happened on the day, the timeline of the day, seeing articles of things that are left, and also just watching like small movies that were playing about how they got everyone off Manhattan. And going to the pools is beautiful, and I love the fact that if it's the person's birthday, all the names are written around and they put a white rose in there. Which is really nice tribute. And we biked over to Brooklyn again, me on my Tri-Ride, my sister on a city bike. It took about 15 minutes maybe to cycle all the way over the Brooklyn Bridge, which is something we really wanted to do anyway. The Dumbo area, where is that iconic shot of the Brooklyn Bridge and the Empire State, and we went there, which was really cool. And then we went to the TimeOut market. The TimeOut market is amazing. It's a food market, but it also has a terrace where you can sit, have drinks and food, and look over Manhattan from Brooklyn. Then that evening we decided we wanted to do some shopping, so we went up Broadway, walked all the way up Broadway from the Financial District all the way up to Midtown, and we went to some shops like Uniqlo. That evening we went to a restaurant that loads of people talked about. It's called Jack's Wife Freda. It was beautiful, we loved it. Best food we had in New York, best drinks we had in New York. Value. Obviously New York's expensive for food, but if you're going, you may as well splash out if you can. So we did. We love Jack's Wife Freda, would highly recommend it, and it is accessible, which is great. And so the next morning we woke up and we went on not the Staten Island ferry, we didn't go on that is free, you can go on that, but we booked a tour. It's a city cruises tour, and it goes all the way to Liberty Island, to Statue of Liberty, and it also goes to Ellis Island, and we'd heard they were both really good. We didn't get off at the Statue of Liberty as we weren't that bothered about getting off, and it was really busy even though we were on the first ferry of the day. There were long queues, there's no way to skip them if you're disabled, so if you're going to go on this tour and you can't stand for long, maybe bring a seat or something. And if you're in a wheelchair, be aware that you're going to be around a lot of people, it's quite crowded. But yeah, if you want to see, it can get you on and off the boat really easily. They're really helpful. Yeah, it is going to be a hard day if you can't stand and walk along. That is the whole thing with New York, I think, as well, is if you do have mobility issues and you don't have a wheelchair or maybe a scooter or something like that, it's a lot of walking unless you're willing to pay for taxis, which are relatively expensive. And I'm going to put the costs of everything on the screen so you can see kind of how much everything we did. The High Line, which was really, really cool. Walked along the whole of the High Line. We absolutely loved it. It was really amazing part of the city. Just feels like you're completely out of it. Again, there's lifts all along the High Line, so if you're in a wheelchair, you can get up there. If you've got mobilities, whatever, you can get up there. So one thing I forgot to mention is we actually did use the subway on this trip. As you can see, there is an accessible boarding point, there is an accessible gate you can get through. You just tap your card like you would on Apple Pay on the Underground, on whatever it is you would be using it on. The subway worked really well for us. I'm going to show you in a minute how I did it on Google Maps and how I found out which stations were accessible, etc. But actually, the ones we went to, the lifts were working. It seemed pretty safe in the daytime, but I probably wouldn't really want to use it in the nighttime just for safety reasons. It wasn't too crowded at all, and actually, as you can see in this sign here in a minute, you can actually check the elevator status from anywhere, and in this one it says that 2 elevators are working. So how you'd find it on Google Maps is you put where you're going, you go to public transport, then make sure you click wheelchair accessible. You can do this in-app as well. Scroll down, it's going to give you the options. It's got 3 bus options, and then line number 6 is the subway. So you click that and it's going to show you you've got to walk a little bit to 23rd Street where you can get in a lift and go down all the way to Canal Street, and then they are your accessible stations. And then yeah, the last thing we did is we got a taxi from downtown Manhattan all the way to JFK. We pre-booked it on booking.com, so it was kind of like a private taxi, and that cost us this much. So yeah, you can get a fixed fare on New York City cabs, but we just wanted to know that there was an extra large taxi coming so we could have all of our bags and my wheelchair. And so that was our whole trip to New York. If you did enjoy this video, I know I've covered quite a lot. I'm going to put a load of stuff in the description that we did with links. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below. I've got a super excited project coming. If you check that out on my Instagram and everything, it will be on there. And if you've been to New York in a wheelchair or in general, just let me know your thoughts and any tips you had. And yeah, any questions, please ask. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys in the next one.